Hello everyone, the Shadow Key Pony here, and today I'm going to be reacting to Butterflies, MLP fanfic reading Grimdark. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what a Grimdark is. Uh, so, uh, you guys voted for this on my community post. If I can, uh, find it here. Well, obviously I need to go to YouTube. Um, um, a lot of you voted for this. Uh,
It's no surprise that when
I'll go away. Um, so here it is. 67% of you voted for Butterflies, and 33% of you voted for Rocket to Insanity. So yeah, so it looks like Butterflies wins this. I'll probably do Rocket to Insanity maybe tomorrow or something like that. So yeah, this is being read by the Lost Narrator, as you can see. Um, but yeah, so this video is 21 minutes and 39 hours. So yeah, and we're not saying the name, but looking at the name Butterflies, this is gonna be uh pretty I have a feeling that it's gonna be gross and yeah, and also if you guys have a fear of I really want to say insects, please click off the video now, because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of creepy insect things in this type of grimdark. So yeah, without further ado, uh, let's get in to the video. Oh yes, I keep forgetting this every time in my videos. The link for the video will be in the description, and yeah, so this also will contain horror themes, of course, like always. And without wasting any more time, let's get into the video.
Warning. The following reading contains subject matter that some listeners might find disturbing.
Yep,
Listener discretion is advised.
that's what I was kind of going over. The Lost Narrator.
I brought cupcakes!
Pinky dropped the picnic basket onto the ground and jumped around Fluttershy in ecstatic joy. The yellow Pegasus looked away bashfully.
Oh, Pinky, you didn't have to. You always make the best cupcakes, though.
The pink party pony
Let me
giggled
see.
and held up a white lemon
yeah.
frosted treat.
It's the secret ingredients I use. Here, I made this one just for you. I just know you're going to love it.
Fluttershy smiled gently and took a shy sniff at the cupcake.
It looks delicious. I'll save it for later, if you don't mind. I want to savor every bite. Come.
Fluttershy turned around and walked inside. Pinky picked up the basket of cupcakes and followed, jumping around eagerly.
Oh no, not the
You said you wanted to
cupcakes.
show me something? What is it? What is it? Is it inside?
Fluttershy led the jumping pony into her cozy cottage. It was a wonderful sunny day, and the cottage was full of life as small critters ran in and out of the windows, doors, and holes, playing and frolicking in the warm summer air,
I like
while
the
birds were singing in the rafters.
I like the art style here in the picture. Really cool.
Pinky spun around and around, almost falling over on her hooves in excitement. Fluttershy stopped in front of a stone oven. Pinky tilted her head.
The oven? You want to bake?
Fluttershy chuckled softly.
Of course not, Pinky. I knew I could count on you to bring something to eat, even if you didn't have to. Hold on.
The Pegasus ruffled her feathery wings a little and pushed against the side of the heavy oven. With a
Oh,
slow
no.
grating noise,
Oh.
the oven slid to the side, revealing a secret trap door beneath. Pinky stared with wide eyes.
Oh, super secret sliderific spaces! What's down there? Is it a secret superhero lair? Are you a secret superhero?
Oh no.
Fluttershy
I
opened
feel like
the trap door, revealing a flight of stairs.
I would
Oh,
make a
no.
terrible superhero, don't you think, Pinky? Just imagine.
The yellow Pegasus lowered her
Don't
head,
don't say
ears
that.
as far
Don't say that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like don't say that.
back as they could go, in a perfectly good imitation of her usual timid
Isn't like
self.
Fluttershy already a superhero in a sense because she is like the element of kindness and she does well, her and the main six do defeat King Sombra and all other villains and whatnot. So
Excuse me, Mr. Mugger. I'm sorry. Would you be so kind as to not beat up that old mare? You know, if you wouldn't mind.
Pinky snorted and fell over on her side in laughter.
Oh, Fluttershy, you're so silly.
Fluttershy blushed and gestured for the stairs.
okay, so this is where we're gonna get into the spooky part.
The two ponies walked down the old stairs. Fluttershy was leading the way. A musty old smell wafted up at them from below. They came to a heavy wooden door. Fluttershy paused in front of it and turned to Pinky.
I want to show you something, Pinky. It is my most prized collection. I don't show it to many ponies.
Oh
But I
no,
want to share
I
with
know
you
what's
because
coming.
you're special.
And by the way,
Yellow
I have.
Pegasus blushed again.
And it would make me so happy to know that you like it too.
Pinky gave Fluttershy a friendly pat on the mane.
By the way, guys, I haven't actually watched this before. I've heard of this, but I haven't watched it in any point in time. So this is my first time watching this Grimdark.
Aw, Fluttershy, you know I will.
Fluttershy pushed the door open and allowed Pinky to walk inside. Pinky didn't notice Fluttershy lock the door behind them as she gazed down the dark,
that-
winding tunnel before her.
Wow, Fluttershy, it's kinda dark down here.
Fluttershy walked up beside Pinky and smiled at her.
Oh yes, it has to be. You don't want to disturb the little critters.
Of
Come on.
course, yeah.
Pinky looked at Fluttershy as the yellow Pegasus trotted along.
Critters?
Pinky followed, her usual eagerness a little muted by the ambience. Up ahead, Fluttershy stopped and turned to Pinky, looking expectantly at the pink pony. Pinky trotted up to her and stopped, her eyes drawn to the alcoves on both sides. Huge clusters of cocoons hung from the walls and ceilings of the recesses. Pinky edged a little away from the silky conglomerations.
Don't be afraid. Not too long now, and they'll break free of their protective shells and greet the day as beautiful butterflies.
Pinky smiled a
Okay.
little uncertainly.
I like butterflies.
Fluttershy beamed happily.
I knew you'd understand. Come on, there's much more.
Fluttershy led on down the tunnel and stopped at another set of alcoves where a larger gathering of larvae were crawling all over each other. Some of them had begun to form cocoons.
Okay.
Oh my, these are almost done feeding. Now they'll begin their slow metamorphosis. It's spectacular, don't you agree?
Pinky bit her lip and tried to stay exactly in the middle of the tunnel, as far away from the creepy crawlies as possible.
Feeding?
Fluttershy nodded enthusiastically.
Of course, every living thing needs to feed. Come, I'll show you.
I mean,
Pinky backed away slowly.
I guess.
It's alright. We could go eat cupcakes outside and, watch butterflies?
Fluttershy stopped and looked back at Pinky with a hurt look.
Come on,
Oh.
Pinky. I wanted this to be special.
Pinky felt a stab of guilt. Fluttershy had decided to show Pinky her secret passion, because she hoped Pinkie would understand and that she would like it too. Pinkie took a deep breath and continued on, trying to put a smile on for Fluttershy. She didn't want to let down a friend, even if it was a little creepy and filled with crawlies down here. They were just insects.
Yeah,
Nothing
just
more.
insects.
Once it was all over, they could go out and laugh in the sunlight, and it would all be good fun.
I mean,
Pinkie
insects are kind of like, you know, kind of alien, aren't they? 'Cause it's really, ugh.
tried
Anyway,
to not look at the inhabitants she knew would be in the next alcoves. She tried to smile and pretend that it was all greatly fascinating, while keeping her eyes on the floor. But the Pegasus insisted on making Pinkie look. Pinkie glanced at the alcoves on her left, trying to shut off her mind. It could be easy. She did it so often. But she couldn't stop staring now. Her eyes had locked themselves upon something of which her screaming mind refused to acknowledge. From the crawling mass of creepy things,
Oh,
something
no.
stuck out. Pinkie's voice broke. A pathetic muffled scream was all that came from her mouth at the sight of a bloody hoof. Flesh peeled off from the bone. She stumbled back,
oh,
wide eyes moving back and forth between the gruesome object and the yellow Pegasus. Fluttershy gave her a broken look, her large cyan eyes pleading at her.
I thought you'd like my collection. I thought you'd understand.
Pinkie shrank and cowered before the Pegasus, unable to turn away from her gaze.
I thought you were my friend, Pinkie.
I mean,
The party pony felt her heart sink, her mind crash. She looked down in shame.
I'm sorry, Fluttershy.
She heard herself say, and saw herself almost as if in a dream, standing and following the other pony. Fluttershy beamed happily.
I knew you'd understand. Oh, I have so much to show you. You'll love
Oh,
it.
no,
and it'll be
this
so
is-
special.
oh no. It's gonna
Pinkie's
be.
mind reeled in horror as the two ponies continued through the tunnel. Every step, she wanted to turn around and run, to find some pony, any pony else, to find sunlight and safety. But her legs did not answer, and her eyes gazed involuntarily at the gruesome sight as they paused at another pair of alcoves.
This
Little white
is
grubs crawling all over the remains of a minty unicorn, burrowing in and out of the rotting flesh hanging from her bones. Nothing remained to the identity of the unicorn, but Pinkie couldn't help but be reminded of a sweet nightly tunes of a lyre. When had she last heard it? It seemed like long ago now that she thought about it. Fluttershy's voice barely registered in Pinkie's shrieking mind.
Isn't it wonderful? All this new life springing from the old one big cycle is just beautiful.
It was sickening.
oh,
Pinkie's stomach
man.
churned, and she felt the bitter taste of acid as she threw up on the floor. Fluttershy continued on, undeterred, her
Yeah,
voice
I
more
think.
eager than ever.
Come on, Pinkie. You'll love this. I know you will. This is my latest masterpiece. It's absolutely stunning. It was meant for you as a special gift.
Pinkie stumbled,
Okay.
her mind trying to regain control of her legs. She had to flee. She had to get out, whatever it took.
Yeah, I think
Slowly,
Fluttershy's
She
too
turned
far
around
gone.
and found herself running. She could barely see in the darkness, but her legs carried her like the wind, past the alcoves of horror back towards the stairs.
Yeah,
The door
good
came out in the
choice.
darkness, and she scrambled at it to no avail. Crying, she threw herself against the barrier. She wanted to get out. This wasn't funny. This wasn't beautiful.
Nope.
She heard the little clip-clop as the yellow Pegasus landed behind her. She fell down and hid her face under her hooves, closing her eyes tightly.
No, I don't want to see. Let me go. I don't need to see. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. I'll say anything. Just let me go. I don't need to
Fluttershy struck a hoof against the stone floor.
I'm disappointed, Pinky.
Oh.
I show you my most treasured work, my greatest collection, and you...
Pinky felt herself unwillingly turning to face the Pegasus.
I mean,
She didn't want to. She wanted to get...
at least Pinky is now the what do you call this? Because usually in like MLP horror stories, Pinky is usually the evil character in the MLP stories, as well as Rainbow Dash as well. Rainbow Dash also in like the MLP horror stories always gets like she's either like the evil character of the story or the tortured pony in the story, man. But
Get out. She never wanted to see a butterfly again in all of her life. Her eyes
yeah,
met Fluttershy's.
I
and
wouldn't
her
really want to
heart
see a
sank.
butterfly after that.
You hurt me deeply, Pinky. But I know you didn't mean to. Now come. When you see my latest...
Dude, you have a really disgusting butterfly collection, Fluttershy. Gee.
work, I know you'll understand.
Once more, Pinky felt herself following, unable to resist. Once more, past the vistas of rotting, crawling flesh. Fluttershy paused up ahead, waiting patiently. Her deep cyan eyes were shining through the darkness. Pinky couldn't escape their command. She wanted to close hers. She didn't want to look. But with every step, she got closer to Fluttershy, closer to whatever horror the Pegasus considered her latest masterpiece. A gift? Pinky stopped in front of Fluttershy. Her mind fought against the compulsion to look up at the alcoves. Yet, inch by inch, her head turned as if pulled by an invisible force.
Oh no.
Pinky sat down heavily with a silent shriek of agony. No, this wasn't real. It couldn't be.
The butterfly's crawling
Fluttershy
up
smiled
her.
at her.
I know you were very close, so I wanted her to be here for you. She was dear to me too, you know. Sometimes I was a little jealous, but now I'm just so happy for you.
Oh
Pinky
no.
couldn't take her eyes away. She felt her heart break into 1,000 little pieces.
Wait.
No, not my Dashie.
Okay, I was
The
about
pale
to
blue
say.
Pegasus with a rainbow-striped mane stared back at Pinky with empty eyes. A look of complete and indescribable terror and agony written across her once beautiful face.
She's truly a wonder, isn't she? Not a wonderbolt, sadly enough, but she could never leave you anyway. It was a perfect explanation for her disappearance, of course, and easy enough for me to write those letters she sent you.
Pinky recalled the acceptance letter from the Wonderbolts, the letters from Rainbow Dash that followed,
Yeah, this
so
is
proud and full of joy, and the promise that they would soon be together again. She cried. It was too much for her to bear. She looked up at her beloved Rainbow. A gasp escaped her as the Pegasus' face and wings twitched.
I
in
do
the
feel bad for
darkness.
Pinkie Pie in this story.
She's alive?
She cried and jumped up. For a fleeting moment, all she could think about was getting her Dashie down and out of there. She'd save her. She'd do something. Fluttershy's voice didn't reach her.
Oh, I think the little ones are about to come out. This is absolutely perfect.
Pinky stomped right in front of Rainbow Dash's body as the first larvae burst from the Pegasus' empty eyes in a flow of blood and yellow pus. The entire body was writhing with life, little worms visible under the skin.
I'm glad
Pinky merely screamed and screamed.
I'm glad I'm watching this during the day, cause man.
Pinky woke up to a bright light above her. A scream immediately escaped her mouth, carried over from what she desperately hoped was a nightmare. It had to be a nightmare. It just had to be.
Please let it be a nightmare.
I don't think
She
it is,
knew
Pinky.
It wasn't. It had been too real. She had to get out. She had to get away. It was the only thought on her mind. She tried to move, but realized she couldn't feel her hind legs. Fluttershy's voice sounded somewhere behind her.
I am so very sorry, but I couldn't have you running away again. Rainbow Dash was even worse. Pegasus ponies can be so difficult.
Screw you, Fluttershy.
I had to sever her spine above her wings, you know. I don't like doing that. It takes some of the experience away. I would prefer not having to sever your spine at all. But you are a naughty pony out there, Pinky. Don't worry, though. You still have your upper body.
Pinky struggled. She could see her legs, but there was no feeling, no response. She cried.
Please.
Her voice broke, and tears streamed down her face. Fluttershy came up beside her, smiling.
You're about to experience a wonderful transformation, Pinky. Something
Oh.
very few ponies get to experience in life.
It's gonna be.
She held up a scalpel, carefully checking the blade.
Most ponies never think about death. They're sheltered from it by a culture which abhors it and tries to hide its wonders. I saw the light myself only a year ago when I was trotting through the forest.
Pinky continued to struggle and plea. She didn't really listen to Fluttershy, but the yellow Pegasus continued anyway, as she considered Pinkie Pie's body.
I
Oh
came across the
no.
body of a pony who had died. Of what I could not tell, but she was lying there in the forest. And I noticed how all the little crawlies of the forest floor had invaded her corpse. I realized what death really means. A
Yeah.
transformation, Pinky.
Fluttershy
Most
is
ponies die and
really
are buried, and they never
disturbed.
get to experience that transformation. And
Or
no
something.
pony else sees the transformation either, because it all happens down in the grave. I wanted to bring the beauty of the transformation of death to the surface. I wanted ponies to experience it. Can't you see? One day, everyone will see and marvel too.
Pinkie cried as Fluttershy stood above her, holding the scalpel.
I don't want to experience it. I don't. Please, Fluttershy. Please let me go. It's not fun. Please.
Fluttershy's deep eyes met hers. Pinkie felt powerless, helpless, under their gaze.
Hush, Pinky. I've chosen the pink spotted swallowtail for you. I hope you will agree that it fits you well. It's such a lovely butterfly. It was very difficult to find in these parts, but I did it for you. I really think it's perfect for you.
Pinkie Pie wanted to scream,
Okay.
but all she could do was helplessly cry as the yellow Pegasus placed the sharp blade of the scalpel against her tummy.
Now
Oh,
don't
no.
worry. You won't feel much.
She's
Dr. Fluttershy knows what she's doing.
she's
The
gonna
Pegasus smiled.
she's gonna put the butterflies in the. Oh Jesus. Okay.
Her cyan eyes never straying far from Pinkie's.
She's gonna put
as the blade
the
cut
butterflies
clean
in
through her
Pinkie's.
skin and flesh. Pinkie breathed heavily as she watched, unable to turn away. She couldn't feel much. The blade was extremely sharp, but terror gripped her mind and tore at her very being. Fluttershy smiled, her deep eyes holding Pinkie paralyzed in place.
I am going to plant the eggs in your intestines. It's
I
warm and
knew
cozy
it.
there, with plenty of
I knew it. I knew how. I knew that was coming. I knew she was gonna place the butterflies in.
digested material for them to grow big and strong. Think of it as having hundreds, thousands maybe, of little children. Isn't it wonderful? And Rainbow will be there with you. Oh, isn't it perfect? I'm so happy for both of you.
The yellow
Yeah,
Pegasus was
this
practically
is-
glowing with twisted glee as she clapped her hooves. Fluttershy expertly opened up Pinkie's stomach, exposing the intestines. She had done it so many times now. First on small
Oh, man.
animals. She knew where and how to cut. Pinkie Pie had passed out. They usually did. Fluttershy smiled and hummed a little tune as she carefully dug her hooves into Pinkie Pie's warm, bloody innards, finding the perfect spot to place the eggs before
Oh my
stitching the party
God.
pony back up.
Yeah, this is... Wow. If I watched this when I was like...
Pinkie Pie woke up with a shriek. Her throat felt like sand. She had been screaming and crying so long. She was hanging from strong chains, her legs dangling uselessly beneath her like a weight of lead. It was
Crap.
dark, but across the tunnel from her, she could make out Rainbow Dash's decaying body. The
Oh,
Pegasus's
no.
face was a living colony of crawling larvae now, blood and pus flowing from her mouth and eyes, like streams of red and yellow.
Oh.
Pinkie felt her stomach turn violently as she threw up over herself. She couldn't watch. Her voice
Yeah,
was
Rainbow
but a
Dash is
whisper.
gone.
She coughed and looked down the line of stitches grazing her stomach. She could feel them inside of her, crawling, burrowing slowly into her gut. Or was it her imagination? Soon, it would all be too real. Pinkie Pie cried quietly in the dark.
I'm sorry, Dash. I'm sorry I never told you that I love you.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Man. So now... Okay. Wait, did I put... Yeah, it's turned off. Good. So... That was, Butterflies, a MLP fanfic, reading, by, the Lost Narrator. I don't know who wrote the actual story, but man, this was just like this was gross. Like, I mean, it is kind of like interesting in a way, and like because now obviously butterflies don't actually do this, at least I don't think they do. I have seen or well, I have heard by a reviewer that butterflies don't actually do this, but it is kind of, as I said, it is kind of interesting. Not in a way that you're all thinking, okay? Calm down. I'm not turning into Fluttershy in this, you know, like, not for the bad reasons, okay? I'm just, you know, I don't plan on doing that rubbish, but, yeah, man, if I watched this, if I watched this grimdark, story when I was like, what, 14 or 15, I would have, I would have been like scared by this because, like, man, or at least disturbed, I think. I don't know. But, yeah, so, Lost Narrator, if you're watching this, you did a fantastic job of, reading this, story, in this video, and, yeah, as I said before, guys, if you want to watch this for yourselves, it's in the description on this video, or in this video, I don't know, wherever you want to prefer. But yeah, if you want me to react to more grimdark story readings like this, please leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.